A warm welcome to Disky Talk with Luyolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I ask that you please do subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, we discuss all things CAF Champions League football. Yes, CAF Champions League is underway this upcoming weekend. So, the two teams then I'm going to speak about is Mamelodi Sundowns and Amazulu, as Mamelodi Sundowns travel to Congo to play against Maniema Union, and Amazulu will then host Tipi Mazembe. So let's have a look at Mamelodi Sundowns then. So with regards to Mamelodi Sundowns, this is a team that has been very competitive in the past couple of years within CAF Champions League football, and they've been able to progress to the quarterfinals consistently. However, coming into this season's CAF Champions League, it's paramount that they break into the last four barrier and then look to get to the finals, because they have been reaching the quarterfinals. But it's time to take it to a new level. And I think this is actually such a great time for them because they're dominating within the DStv premiership, and they've found great consistency in form and momentum and playing some of their best football within the DStv premiership. So they would obviously like to take that form and transfer it into the CAF Champions League as they go away to Maniema Union. So coming up then into this game, Mamelodi Sundowns have been playing really well, and when we have a look at it then from a personnel perspective, we do know that Mamelodi Sundowns normally love to institute a hybrid system, which is a 4-3-3, which then transitions into a 3-4-3. So it would then transition into a 3-4-3 whenever the two centre-halves would open up, the two wing-backs go up and offer the width, and then Rivaldo Kutsia would drop in there. So with regards then in goals, would normally start with Onyango, and then a back three of they'll have Rushin Duruk as a right-sided centre-half. They have Rivaldo Kutsia in there, and then Musa Lebusa. So with regards then to this back three, Sundowns have been instituting a centre-back pair of Rushin Duruk and Grant Kekana. However, because of the injuries they do have in the right-back position, Grant Kekana will then start as their right-back, who then obviously pushes up whenever it does transition into a 3-4-3. He becomes a right wing-back. So they have had those injuries. So coming into this one, hopefully Lebusa is fully fit, because then if he's not fully fit, Rushin Duruk will come there, Grant Kekana will play there, and then that's seen Lila K play as the right back, which then sees him invert as a full back. But hopefully everybody is fully fit. So then you'll have Rushin Duruk right-sided centre-half. You'll have Rivaldo Kutsia, who's the deep-laying playmaker who drops in between the two centre-halves. And then you'll have Musa Lebusa. And then you have Grant Kekana. In the heart of midfield, you have Jali, you'll have Zwane, and then you'll have Lyle Lekay. So then with regards to these two in midfield, I think they've been very consistent for Mamelodi Sundowns, and especially when you have a look at Jali and the man of the match performances that he's dished out as of late within the DStv premiership. He's playing really, really well. And the lovely thing then when you have Rivaldo Kutsia, Andy Lechali, and then you have Themba Zwane. You've got three players who are all specialists within the three phases of the pitch. So we're talking build-up phase, consolidation phase, and then the final third. So with regards then to build-up phase, you've got Rivaldo Kutsia, who comes into build-up phase, who looks to nurture the ball and progress it into consolidation phase. Very comfortable on the ball, as he is the deep-lying playmaker for this Mamelodi Sundowns side. And then when you have a look at Jali, he's a specialist in consolidation phase. Very comfortable on the ball. He progresses it very well. He can protect the ball and also very good at breaking down play. So he is quite the complete midfielder from that perspective. And then Zwane from consolidation phase, working then into the final third. You know, we do know that he loves to pop up into the right-sided half space and the left-sided half space, and then also in central zone 3 in the central pocket of space where he loves to institute his free-flowing, creative style of football. So the nice thing then about these three is that you've got such a solid spine then down central zone 3 from a final third perspective, consolidation phase perspective, and a build-up phase perspective. That's the nice thing of having these three in midfield, as I think this is the strongest midfield three for this Mamelodi Sundowns side. And then you will have Grant Kekana, who's been very solid, who will start on the right-hand side as the right-sided fullback. And the thing is with him then, especially now when you're going away, you know, so he does offer that defensive stability, and he reads the game very well from a tactical standpoint. So he's not a player that's just going to bomb on forward, but he will be looking to keep his shape, you know, which then does give Mamelodi Sundowns that solidity down the right-hand side, you know, which then the relationship between him and Kutumela, who will then often drift into vertical zone 5 and drift into that area, into the wide channel, it will then see Grant Kekana keep his width, you know. So it does then allow for a very balanced relationship when it comes to the right-hand side of Mamelodi Sundowns. Lila K then to start as the left back, who then obviously advances as the left wing back down vertical zone 1 whenever it does transition into a 3-4-3. And then when we have a look at the front three, look, there's so many options for this Mamelodi Sundowns side, you know, but Shalulile, you've got Kutumela, and then Serino, you know, but I will note at home that Mamelodi Sundowns have so many options from a qualitative perspective, so they could change it up, you know, especially also considering the fact that they are playing and playing within Africa and traveling to Congo, so maybe they want to have a different approach, you know, so maybe they could even go with the Safranco, then a Kutumela, and then a Shalulile, you know, they've got so many options to go with. So when we have then a look at a Kutumela, who I think is going to be very pivotal when it comes to CAF Champions League football because of how penetrative he is as a player, you know. Things will be very important because a lot of the teams within the CAF Champions League, they don't have quick defenders. You know, they've got very physical defenders, but those defenders like playing against target men. They don't like playing against nippy fast forwards, and that's what Thabiso Kutumela is. Very penetrative as well. So he does give this Mamelodi Sundowns side a very, very different dimension. With Ushalulile, we all know what he can do. He scores the goals, and he'll be looking to extend on his DStv premiership form as he heads into the CAF Champions League. So that is then Mamelodi Sundowns and what they could possibly do with regards then to their stronger side going into the CAF Champions League. And yes, it is Maniema United from Congo versus Mamelodi Sundowns. Yes, in the CAF Champions League second preliminary round. So with regards to this game then, I do foresee Sundowns winning and ensuring that they have the advantage as it is the first leg. So the first leg will be contested in Congo. So I do foresee Sundowns actually winning this game. I don't think it's going to be an easy game, you know, especially when you consider the conditions. They aren't always conducive, and they aren't the most pristine conditions for Sundowns to institute their beautiful style of play. But by virtue of the fact that they are the more experienced side within CAF Champions League football, and they do possess the quality and they do possess the know-how, I think they'll be able to see this one over the line and score a couple of goals. I do see them winning 2-1 and then have those 2 away goals, which they will take then home into the second leg. So I do see Mamelodi Sundowns winning this encounter. So moving on then right along, we've got Amazulu versus Tipi Mazembe. So with regards then to Amazulu, I think it's lovely to see another South African team contesting within the CAF Champions League. I think it's about time that South African teams start growing within the CAF Champions League space, you know, and especially considering how other parts of Africa, especially North Africa, have been very dominant within CAF Champions League, and also the West African teams and Central African teams, they're also starting to grow within CAF Champions League football. But very, very important that we always have at least 2 teams from South Africa, at least, you know, trying to advance then to the group stages of the CAF Champions League, you know. That should become the benchmark and the standard. However, because it is Amazulu, they still are within their infancy when it comes to competing in CAF Champions League football. So it's not going to be easy, especially considering that they're coming up against a Tipi Mazembe. So, I don't think that they will progress. However, this is part and parcel of paying your school fees when it comes to the stock and trade of the CAF Champions League. So I think it's very important that they gain that experience, you know. But hey, who knows? Maybe they might surprise me. Maybe they might go on to win, which would be actually very, very lovely. Not just for them, but for South African football as well. So when you go into this one then and we have a look at Amazulu. So Amazulu, they do line up with, they would normally go with a 4-2-3-1, which can be a hybrid of a 4-3-3 at times, or a 4-5-1 without the ball, you know, because this is also another team that has so many options, you know, from a qualitative perspective. So Benny can go with so many different options because the personnel that he has to his disposal, you know, yeah, quite impressive when you have a look at the depth of this Amazulu side. But if we have to go with the strongest 11, so then we're looking at it then from a 4-3-3 perspective, and where they'll look to pack the midfield against this Tipi Mazembe side. So when we have a look at it then, we've got Velimo Otto in goal, a back 4 of Gumede as the right back, 2 centre halves of Mkwazela as the right side at centre half, Kogi as the left side at centre half, and then Malepe as the left back. But just to note, as the right side at centre half, Kumalo has been having impressive displays. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him in there alongside Tapelo Kogi, but I would go with Umkwazela in there. And then the midfield 3, you've got Machaula, you've got Buchanan and Sitebe, who plays the 2 number 8s. So very important then that Amazulu look to nullify Tipi Mazembe, especially within vertical zone 3 and in the central pockets of spaces and in the half spaces, making sure that they nullify them and that they aren't able then to play through those 2 half spaces, and they aren't able to penetrate this Amazulu side, you know, from a defensive perspective. And then from an offensive perspective, whenever Amazulu do look to get on the ball and look to work it up from build-up phase into consolidation phase, these are 3 midfielders who are very comfortable on the ball and who will look to rotate that ball and then progress it into the final third. And then when we have a look at their forward line, we've got Ntuli up front, who's been doing well. It could be Ntuli, it could be Machoro. And then from the right-hand side, Memela. And then Mulenga, who has made his return. He did make a cameo appearance against Kaizer Chiefs in the DStv Premiership. So he is back to full fitness. And yeah, a great addition, actually. You know, it'll feel like a brand new signing because this is their talisman, you know, very good when it comes then to starting off vertical zone 1, looking to cut in, occupy the half space, and zone 14, looking to get those goals for Amazulu. At time, he does institute the creative side of the game by ensuring that he's able to assist Ntuli, making sure that he's then able to assist Amazulu when it comes to creating those chances. So that is Amazulu then coming up against Tipi Mazembe. Very, very interesting then with regards to how they'll go about life when it comes to CAF Champions League. So I'm looking forward to both encounters. That is Maniema Union versus Mamelodi Sundowns and Amazulu versus Tipi Mazembe. So I don't think it's going to be an easy game for Amazulu, as yeah, I think it's going to be a very tough game for Amazulu. However, I do foresee a draw in this game. I do foresee a 1-1 draw against Tipi Mazembe, which will then give Tipi Mazembe the advantage with the 1 away goal. So very, very interesting CAF Champions League encounters coming up. Very excited that CAF Champions League football is then starting to progress and it's starting to shape up. We're starting to see who's who in the zoo, and hopefully then both Mamelodi Sundowns and Amazulu will be able to progress into the group stages of the CAF Champions League. So this was yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for all that you contribute to this great football channel. So if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you very much. Signing out.